Hey Frankensteins, join me for a movie that I only know about because of a Simpsons episode. Elia Kazan's A Streetcar Named Desire. Streetcar Named Desire is the 1951 Elia Kazan directed film based on a Tennessee Williams play and screenplay, and it stars Vivien Leigh, Carl Malden, Kim Hunter, and the great Marlon Brando. I know very little about this. All I know is Stella! And what I saw on The Simpsons. But other than that, I really don't know much about this at all. Because it's based on a play, my guess is that it's going to be very stage-bound, maybe one or two sets. Not going to be the big sprawling thing that we saw with Gone with the Wind or Treasure of the Sierra Madre. I think this is going to be very contained. I'm also guessing there's going to be a lot of dialogues, a lot of soliloquies, a lot of monologues, very theatrical in feel. I really don't know what to expect. So let's take a look. This is my stunned face. Oh, that was so good. Now, we already know that the Treasure of the Sierra Madre was the sweatiest film I watched in this collection. Well, A Streetcar Named Desire is the steamiest. You never know when this volatile mix of personalities and madness is just going to burst in passion and desire. So in a nutshell, this is what happens. Vivien Leigh plays Blanche Dubois, and she is coming from Mississippi to visit her sister and her new husband in New Orleans. She has left town, and we're going to find out that it's because of dealings and maybe affairs and maybe the fact that she's kind of a woman of questionable moralities. And also she's lost the family home. She moves into this cramped apartment that changes size due to a little movie magic. And the heat of New Orleans and the desires that everyone has, it's very raw, very sexual, and there's madness that Blanche Dubois falls into, and her long-suffering sister, Stella, and her over-the-top brother-in-law, Stanley Kowalski. There's not one flaw in this cast. Marlon Brando is an ape, and he is common, and he's always concerned about being common. His passion and his rage are equal, and they exist simultaneously. See, like the Hulk, his secret is to always stay angry, and he is just beautiful. Now, apparently, this was one of his real first starring role. He wasn't really known very much. He'd been on stage. I only know Brando from Apocalypse Now, and The Isle of Dr. Moreau is a good one. If you know those pictures, this isn't that Brando. He's mostly clad in a t-shirt, and at one point he takes it off, and you're like, goodness. But the t-shirt's very fitted, and apparently these did not exist at that time. That's not what a t-shirt was. They cut it in the back and then stitched it up so that it would be really tight over his chest. And Stanley, he's the kind of guy that knows everybody. He's a friend with everybody. He knows a guy. And you get a look at him, and you see that he's a brute, and you see that he's this ape. And I'm saying these words because that's what they use in the film. But he picks a voice that's really high. Listen to him speak, and you listen to his tone of voice and the words he uses and how he mumbles things, and you're like, there's something missing there. And he chooses his voice to be the thing where he's just a little off when it comes to the brains department. Blanche Dubois, of course, is Vivien Leigh, and she is a stunner in this. She is Scarlett O'Hara if she had gone a little nuts, a little drunk, and had lost everything and just sold it all because she was never going to go hungry again. This is the sequel to Gone with the Wind. Don't let anybody tell you different. She is weak, but she's seductive. She has something going on underneath the surface. There's secrets, there's lies, and there's a descent to madness. How she treats people, how she treats her sister, all of that it's just wonderful. Of course, there's a different acting style between Vivien Leigh and Marlon Brando. They had both come from the stage. Brando came from New York and used the Stanislavski method, very natural, where Vivien Leigh, classically trained actress, working with Shakespeare and all, where it's the words and the rhythms, that's what you use, are all the tricks in the book to emote the most emotion. So when these two actors are together, their styles are very, very different, but their work really comes together seamlessly in this. Kim Hunter plays Stella. She loves her husband and at least loves his brutality, at least loves his sexuality, at least loves his smell, and is not much more than that. She's put upon by everyone. She's put upon by her sister, she's put upon by Stanley, and yet she is a woman that does have passion, but it's under the surface, where everyone else is out in the open. And then there's Carl Malden as Mitch. Not boyfriend, but boyfriend enough to Blanche. You know, he's very safe. He's good. He has a job. It's a good performance. He's just kind of a sad sack. So yeah, this is a stage play. And there are times where it does feel like it's set bound. But a couple of things they did was they changed the size of the apartment. It gets bigger or smaller depending on who's interacting, depending on when the scene is taking place and how intense it is. It doesn't feel claustrophobic. And the set design is great. I mean, there's not a straight line in the entire set. It's all ramshackle. You can't believe people are living there. You can just feel the mold and the bugs and the dirt and just the humidity and just pouring down. There's one bathroom that people share, and Blanche is always in the bathroom taking a bath. There's no privacy. There's not a straight line in this entire set. And sometimes it feels like the entire world is about to crumble. I'd always questioned what A Streetcar Named Desire meant until you watch the first scene and she actually does take a streetcar named Desire. That's a real thing. It wasn't real when the movie came out because it had been retired at that time. To the streetcar named Cemeteries, which brings her to Elysian Fields. That's where Blanche and Stanley live. The desire leads to the grave, or at least to sickness, and then leads to the afterlife. This is all a big circle. This is all metaphorical. Elysian Fields was a Greek construct. It was part of Hades, and it's a place where those that were favored by the gods could indulge in whatever they wanted to indulge in life. Okay, what? Why didn't anybody tell me about this movie? This is right up there as one of my favorite films. I can't wait to have people over for a screening of this. There were at least 3 times that I had my jaw on the floor and went, they're doing what? And they had to censor this from the play. Tennessee Williams said they neutered this movie, but I still couldn't believe it. This is an event movie. I know it's supposed to be art. I know it's supposed to be highbrow. But for me, it's up there with Mommy Dearest and The Room as one of the movies that I would show to get people to go, wah! I really enjoy this. And there's no question that this is getting the full 5 out of 5 amazings. Next time we're watching Gene Kelly and An American in Paris, all singing and all dancing. I'll do my best. Until then, I'm Uncle Tony.